Howdy, can you all hear me? Okay, good morning and welcome to the Texas A&M University Aggie Achieve Fall Open House. And we're glad you are here today tuning in with us. I'm Heather Doulis. I'm the program director of Aggie Achieve. And I'm going to let my staff members that are here with me today hop on and just introduce themselves really quickly.
Howdy, my name is Kelsey Gibson, and I'm the job developer for the Aggie Achieve program.
Howdy, my name is Jamie Berthold, and I'm the program manager for Aggie Achieve.
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started today. After those few introductions, you will hear different things from each of our staff members throughout this time that we have together. We're going to talk about what Aggie Achieve is and the components of the program, the eligibility criteria for our program, admissions procedures and the timeline for that. We are going to have an opportunity to speak with Aggie Achieve mates and hear about what their organization does for us. And then there will be time at the end for questions and answers, that if you have individual questions after listening to the presentation, that you may ask those. If you have questions that come up during, Jamie will be monitoring the chat for those so that we can answer them at the appropriate time. Okay. So go ahead and get started. I would ask that if you are watching from home or work, that you please mute yourselves, because otherwise we get a lot of strange feedback. And if you notice some strange noises in the background, the building that I am speaking from is getting new windows. And so you may hear some drilling in the background. And we apologize for that, but our building is getting an upgrade today. So without further ado, here we go, Aggie Achieve. Aggie Achieve is truly designed with a twofold mission, the first of which is to provide a truly inclusive and immersive college education experience that equips young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities for employment in the community. The ultimate goal when we leave Aggie Achieve as a graduate is for our students to gain competitive employment in the community. So not only do you want to come here to get a college education or a college experience, but also you want to leave as a graduate who is ready to be employed and move forward into a meaningful independent life. Students can be enrolled in Aggie Achieve for 1 to 4 years as long as they continue to meet eligibility requirements. So the first 2 years of our program are really designed to introduce students to college life and academics. It is a big deal to leave home and go to college and kind of get used to doing things on your own, get used to how college academics are different than high school academics. And we focus really heavily on that during the first 2 years of the program. The last 2 years focus more heavily on independent living and career development, including opportunities for off-campus paid internships in a student's field of interest. Here are a few pictures of some of our students, just so that you can start visualizing who is part of Aggie Achieve. We currently have 18 students in our program, ranging from freshmen through seniors. This is our first year that we have seniors. It will be our first year that we have graduates. You can see that our students meet and have in the upper left-hand corner, we were having a seminar with a wellness coach from out in the community. Our students go to baseball games. We have potlucks where students can show their cooking skills and share with friends. And like most students that are here at Texas A&M, we like to explore the community. So you can see our students enjoying one of the iconic restaurants in College Station, the Dixie Chickens. If you've been to College Station, you may see that. But we really want our students to be active, not only at Texas A&M, but out in the community. Students who complete all 4 years of Aggie Achieve will receive a certificate of interdisciplinary studies from Texas A&M University. This comes out of the School of Education and Human Development, I want to strongly say this is not a four-year degree. This is not a pathway to get a four-year degree. This is a certificate of interdisciplinary studies that shows that you have completed coursework and Aggie Achieve requirements throughout your time at Texas A&M. So it is a certificate that comes at the culmination of all of your studies. Our students will be graduating with their peers in the School of College of Education and Human Development, and will participate in a graduation ceremony with their degree-seeking peers. Our students are reviewed annually for continuation in the program. Each year, students receive a micro-credential for successful completion of the respective year. So freshman expectations, as students meet their freshman expectations, they get a micro-credential for that. Moving forward into sophomore, junior, and senior year, we are looking for satisfactory performance in academics, independent living, employment, and social skills. And truly what we are looking for is growth in those areas. College is a huge investment. It's an investment of time. It's an investment of money. And we want our students to be working toward meaningful goals and making progress. You don't want to finish your 4 years at Texas A&M and be the same person that you were coming into Texas A&M. We really want to see our students grow and be ready to take their place in the community. Aggie Achieve is funded in part by a transition and post-secondary programs for students with intellectual disabilities, mouthful, it's a TIPSID grant. We are the third cohort that has received a TIPSID funding from the Department of Education. And 4 of our goals really with getting that TIPSID funding are to expand our program to strengthen our opportunities for our students. In inclusive learning, our students take courses on Texas A&M campus, across campus with their degree-seeking peers. They also take courses that are built specifically for Aggie Achieve. So we have inclusive learning opportunities and then personalized learning opportunities. We want to equip our students for outcomes to have the best quality of life. Each and every one of us has a goal or many goals for our lives, which includes meaningful employment, being active in the community, feeling part of where you live and work. We also would like to become more elevated as a program of inclusion, a model of inclusion on our campus, and extend this model to other campuses, especially those in the Texas A&M University system. Currently in Texas, there are 3 colleges and universities that offer TIPSID programs or that are part of this network. We are one of them. We work together with the other 2 schools, UNT Elevar and then TU Casa in San Antonio. And then our 4th mission is to engage representatives from other institutions and organizations across Texas to form the statewide alliance focused on inclusive higher education. And we are working really well with the other colleges and universities in the state. That TIPSID funding is really important, but also we are pretty proud that we are designated as a comprehensive transition program by the U.S. Department of Education. We are the first in Texas to receive this designation. A really important piece of that, it means that our students can apply for federal financial aid. So just like their degree-seeking peers, they may fill out the FAFSA. Our students are eligible for federal Pell Grants. They're eligible for work study. They are eligible for supplemental education opportunity grants. Currently, the state of Texas does not offer funding for our students, but our students are offered federal financial aid. So that is a big win for us, and we are very pleased with that designation for our program. So you might be wondering, what is this coursework? This lady keeps talking about academics and taking classes with degree-seeking peers. What does that look like? Our Texas A&M coursework that Aggie Achieve students take, they take 1 course each semester using a modified syllabus and an independent learning agreement that is developed in collaboration with the course instructor. These courses are taken for 0 credit, but that does not mean that we sit in class and just sit there. Our students do work in their courses. They complete assignments according to that independent learning agreement that they've created with the instructor. They take part in all of the same activities with peers. They are graded as pass-fail courses. However, you must pass the class to maintain satisfactory academic progress and remain part of our program. So it's really important that the students that come to Aggie Achieve are excited not only about being at college, but really being a college student and doing academic work, are committed to learning and growing and developing skills. In those academic courses, our students receive support from peer mentors. They participate in shared activities, are part of groups in classes, and have various ways to demonstrate content mastery. Our students also register with the Office of Disability Resources to receive accommodations at the college level. Some examples, this is just a few examples. We have about 20 courses right now that our students can choose from for their academic courses. We have interdisciplinary studies such as educational psychology, understanding special populations. We have theater courses. We have an animals and society class. 3 of our seniors are currently taking Texas barbecue. Right now, we have several English courses and lots of things across the university, and we are always looking to create new pathways with other professors. Freshman students are also involved in what is called Hullabaloo U First Year Experience course. This is a course that every freshman coming to Texas A&M takes, including Aggie Achieve students. It is a great way to get connected with other students at the university, to become part of our community, to learn about healthy relationships, study skills, time management, the resources that are on campus with other people who are going through the same things you are going through as a freshman. So all of our students take that. Our students also take Achieve seminars and directed studies that are related to needs that are more unique to students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So these are taught by our staff members and assisted by students in special education that are going to be future teachers or future professors. They're focused on a really wide range of topics, including wellness, social skills, human sexuality, independent living, financial literacy, career awareness, job shadowing, and self-advocacy. Our students also take physical education activity program courses. Each semester, they have access to over 100 classes in the physical education program. They may range from tone and flex, boot camp, skiing, basketball, running, archery, badminton. We have tons of classes, and our students can take any kinesiology 199 course that is here. I'm going to let Jamie talk about this area and take a break for a moment.
Howdy. So my name is Jamie Berthold, and I'm in charge of overseeing the person-centered planning process. And so as Dr. Julis just talked about the different courses, we established with the students what courses they're interested in through person-centered planning. And this is also what we use to decide what supports the student will have throughout the program. And so beginning from the time of acceptance, their program of study is individually designed through a comprehensive process that we call person-centered planning. And so this is a process where each student meets with program staff and their family to identify what their individual goals are for the program. And we provide a variety of options for coursework, internships, extracurricular activities that align with the student's goals. How this is a little bit different than what you might be used to in high school is the student is really the driving force. And so throughout the entire process, we want to know what the student wants. And maybe that doesn't always match or align with what as staff we think they should do, or with family what you might think they should do, but their voice is really the voice that matters the most. And so that is what we're trying to foster here through the person-centered planning process, is teaching them those tools to advocate for themselves, and then giving them the resources and support they need to accomplish that, or maybe steering them a different way, where they can really have those hands-on experiences to find out what it is that they enjoy and what it is that makes them have a purposeful life. And so our students also have access to every single student organization that is offered at Texas A&M. And so these are just a few of the many hundreds of student organizations that Texas A&M has. And we have a lot of students in Read Rowdies, Aggie Emeralds, there's women's orgs, men's orgs, intramurals. Honestly, if there's something you enjoy doing, you can probably find an organization for it. And if there isn't one that already exists, you have the opportunity to create one. And so this is super cool because each of our students is required to be a part of at least one student organization, because we really want them to not only be successful in academics, but really have a well-rounded life and really have support throughout the campus and be integrated onto Texas A&M campus to have that truly inclusive experience. And so this is just an example of a week at a glance for our students. As you can see, they each take an A&M course that we talked about, a PAP course. They will have like a check-in with either program staff or a practicum student to talk about their person-centered planning goals. They'll have a seminar. They will have study halls scheduled in, and as extracurricular activities as well. I do want to mention that they do have some free time. And so a really important part of coming to the program is that the student needs to know how to manage their free time. Obviously, we understand that this might be a new concept for a lot of people. And so that, like, we do try to provide training and opportunity, but we do not provide 24/7 supervision. And so we request that if a student is coming to Aggie Achieve, that they're able to at least manage their free time appropriately. And understand that there won't be structured activities 24/7 throughout the student's day.
Howdy, my name is Kelsey Gibson, and I oversee all things employment for Aggie Achieve. So we currently offer internships on and off campus in inclusive settings, and this allows our students to get that hands-on experience. So our students start internships in the spring semester of their freshman year, and their hours range anywhere from 1 to 5 hours. Your hours will continue to increase each year in the program. And while our students are at their internships, they are accompanied by a job coach as needed. And I meet regularly with the job coaches and the employers to kind of touch base and make sure we're on the right track before we start fading that support. The last 2 years of the program, the students pursue employment off campus and work in a field aligned to the career that they have chosen to specialize in. In the final year, students will work closely with me to identify inclusive employment in their chosen specialty, either locally or in their hometown. And so some of our on-campus employment sites are the rec center, the MSC service desk, the small animal hospital, transportation services, the teaching gardens, and the 12th Man Foundation. And some off-campus employment sites are BCS Fitness, I Heart Mac and Cheese, the theater company of Bryan College Station, and we recently added Cinemark Theaters and Pinspiration this semester. And so these are some photos of our employment sites. We have the gardens, a local art gallery. We had a student that worked for the battalion newspaper that got to take photos. In the middle, we actually had a trooper come in and talk to the students about law enforcement. So we do have employers come in and talk to the students to kind of see if they might be interested in that as well. And so we're going to move on to independent living. So all Aggie Achieve students participate in independent living seminars weekly that focus on skills like cooking, cleaning, and self-care. During the first 2 years, students will live on campus in the White Creek apartments. During the third year, students will live off campus in an apartment or house in College Station that they choose. And during the fourth year, Students can remain in off-campus housing in College Station or choose to live elsewhere if they have a desire to return home or a different location. So on-campus housing is freshman and sophomore year. Achieve students will live on campus in White Creek apartments for the first 2 years. They will live with peers in the Aggie Achieve Living Learning community, and first-year students will also live in a unit with a residential mentor that is hired by Aggie Achieve. In off-campus housing, junior and senior year, Aggie Achieve students will move off campus to a house or apartment in College Station that they select with their families. There are many apartments available that are near campus and also have a bus route that's close to campus. And Achieve staff will still support the students weekly and independent living as needed.
So now we're going to chat a little bit about the college student experience. One of the things that's really important to know is a difference between high school and college is that once you move to the college setting, FERPA and communication looks different. Many times throughout high school and sometimes even for students through their senior year or through their 18 to 21 program, parents are really driving the educational record, the process. Once you get to college, that looks a whole lot different. And the student themselves own their educational record under the provisions of the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. So students in post-secondary education institutions are deemed to own their education records, and the students are the ones who advocate for themselves here. Students may choose to grant FERPA access to their parents, to their educational record, their financial records here at school. And most of our students do that, but that truly is a student choice. This also means communication-wise, that when communicating with professors or staff members that are teaching students or independent living specialists that are working with our students, that the student does the communication. Parents do not send emails to college professors. And so that is one piece that's really different. It's a great piece to start practicing while students are still in the high school setting or in the 18 plus setting in their local schools, is to really practice doing that communication and self-advocacy, because at the college setting, those pieces, we expect our students to do all of those with support, of course. Some of our program staff, we've mentioned a few of them. We have a faculty director. We also have an executive committee for Aggie Achieve that help us with our strategic planning, our fundraising, our program evaluation. Faculty executive committee helps with our admissions process. We have a program director, which is me. You have met our program manager, Jamie, who is responsible for day-to-day activities of the program and the person-centered planning process and achievements that you will meet in a little bit. You have met Kelsey, our job developer, who connects students with their first on-campus internships as well as off-campus internships and future employment opportunities. We have a postdoctoral research assistant that helps us with research opportunities and our internal evaluations. And then this year we have 4 graduate assistants. These are doctoral students in special education and school psychology who support our students in employment, academics, social skills, and independent living. We have residential mentors who live with our first year students in White Creek apartments to assist with independent living skills and navigating apartment life. These residential mentors are typical degree-seeking students. They have coursework of their own, but they are there to serve kind of as a guide, and they usually work about 5 hours a week of direct support with our students. At the job site, we also have job coaches who support our students with their internship and employment opportunities as needed, with a goal to fade job coaching out. As the program develops, we continually reevaluate staff with student needs and the availability of funding, but that's just a snapshot of who works with our students. You may be wondering what Aggie Achieve costs. like I mentioned earlier, coming to college it's not free. It's not even cheap always, but we think it's a good value for moving forward into a productive life. Our program support fees and tuition semester are delineated here. The program cost itself averages $10,250 per semester. This excludes housing and meals. So we have designated tuition for the courses, the academic course and the PAP course that our students take with other degree-seeking Aggies. So their tuition part is actually kind of the smallest part of all of this. Each school within the university has a university advancement fee. This happens to be the one for the School of Education and Human Development, which we are housed under. Our students have access to the health center, to Butyl, to all of the rec centers, the student center, which is the MSC. All of those are associated with fees that all students at Texas A&M pay. And then our program fee is what helps us have staff. It helps us provide the individualized support for the students because we do not receive funds from the School of Education and Human Development. So just kind of know that it is $10,250 per semester billed from the school, and it gets paid right to Texas A&M. You can use financial aid for that if your family qualifies for financial aid, but that is the cost. Our program does receive support and fundraising from several really generous donors. So we do have the opportunity to offer scholarships for students based on financial need. And we work to minimize costs as much as possible by working with our two fantastic development officers in the College of Education and Human Development, Amy Hurley and Ashley Bryant. And they work really hard with us to find donors who support our program and are excited about offering this opportunity. So some of you on here may be wondering, how do I know if I'm eligible? How am I going to apply? That's the part we're getting to next. We opened our applications on October 1st, and so we're right in the heart of this at this moment. To be eligible for Aggie Achieve, by the time you come in August, you need to have completed high school and are no longer receiving support from the school. Our entry criteria really needs you to be between ages 18 and 27 at the time of entry into the program. And this is because we want our students to have similar experiences to their degree-seeking Aggie peers. This is the average age of freshmen through seniors at our university. And so we want to be mirroring that. So that is in our eligibility criteria. It is important that our students serve as their own legal guardians and have a documented disability diagnosis of intellectual disability or autism and have received special education services in high school with an IEP. We look for a demonstrated ability to communicate reliably with staff, faculty, and mentors. This is not limited to verbal speech. If someone uses a communication device, that is okay. But we do have to be able to demonstrate the ability to communicate. Taking care of independent functioning and basic support needs. We do not have direct support professionals hired by our program. We don't have people to help with toileting, hygiene, feeding. We expect that our students are able to take care of those needs for themselves. And we want our students to be able to demonstrate at least a third grade reading level in comprehension and fluency, because our students are taking coursework with degree-seeking Aggies. They're in college classes. We have to have a minimum level of comprehension so that the students can engage with their peers in discussions and activities. Some of the other pieces, all of this is on our website, but it is important to know that college students and college courses last anywhere from 1 hour blocks of time to 90-minute courses. And you need to be able to sit through a course and focus for a sustained period of time. demonstrate basic mathematics understanding and know how to use a calculator. I think these next two are really important, and I think should be bold, but I don't know why I didn't do that. But it is really important that you, the student coming to us, express desire and motivation to complete a post-secondary education program for a reason that you want to do this. Not just because your mom and dad want you to, or your brother or sister came here, but you're excited to come to college. It's a lot of work to be a college student. You are away from home and you do encounter tough challenges and new situations. So it's important that you want to be here and you're excited about that. We also look at the students' expression of a desire to attain a job in an inclusive employment setting after completing the program. It is important that when you graduate from Texas A&M, that you're excited and ready to go out into the world of work. We don't just want this to be someplace to come for 4 years to have an experience. We need you to have an outcome, and that outcome looks like employment and an independent life. And the student needs to demonstrate active participation through the application and interview process. Demonstrate sufficient emotional and independent stability to participate in all aspects of our coursework and campus environment. It's no secret that Texas A&M is not a small school. There are 60,000 plus undergraduates here. So you need to be able to handle being in crowds, navigating a pretty complex bus system that once you know how to do it with support, our students navigate all over campus and get to their classes independently. But it's important to know that it's not a small campus. It's going to look a little different than high school. Be able to handle and adapt to change without becoming overly stressed when schedules or people change. We work with a large variety of faculty, staff. Schedules change. You have to look in your email to make sure your class is actually meeting that day because sometimes professors change things. So being able to handle those changes as they come is important. You need to have proof of health insurance. It is very important that our students are able to independently self-administer and manage their medication and dietary needs. And navigates campus safely, crossing streets and parking lots independently. What does it look like after applications are filled out? Our application cycle is open from October 1st through December 1st at 11:59 p.m. Once all those applications are in early January, our admissions committee starts looking through the applications and reviews all of them with a rubric. And the first thing that happens is a selection of the applicants are invited to participate in Zoom interviews. And these are people who meet all of the eligibility criteria, and we want to get to know you a little better with a brief 15-minute Zoom interview. Everyone gets asked the same set of questions, and this happens with the applicant only. So we want to see from you in that Zoom interview, why do you want to come to Texas A&M? What are you hoping to learn while you're here? And do you want a job after high school? Do you want to leave home right now? Those are things that we are looking at in that brief Zoom interview. The second round from that is a 2-day overnight interview process that includes a thorough evaluation of independent living, time management, and behavior regulation skills. The on-campus interview process, we ask that a family member comes with, one of your parents comes with, or both. Lodging is not provided. You stay with your families during that time. But we have activities for both you and your families over that 2 days. And then final applicants must commit to attending an up to 2-week summer experience. It's pretty intensive on campus prior to being fully admitted. In this case, once you are invited to that summer experience, you pay a registration fee for that, and your food and your lodging is included in that piece, and you come by yourself without your parents. At the culmination of that interview process and summer orientation, we take all of the data that is collected during that time frame, and the faculty executive committee looks at the data and makes the ultimate determination of whether applicants are accepted. And notification of final acceptance will actually be in mid-June. It will happen by June 15th. So I've said the word evaluate a lot. What does that look like? Because that sometimes can sound like a scary word. What we're trying to do is determine whether Texas A&M is a good fit for your needs and whether you are a good fit for Aggie Achieve. It's trying each other out to make sure that this is the right place to invest your time for the next 4 years. We are looking from the students at their own aspirations. Do you really want to be here? Do you want to attend college? Do you want to be employed after you graduate? Do you have reading, math, and writing skills that allow you to move forward in coursework? Social skills are super important in college. It seems like college students like to hang out a lot and get involved in many different groups on campus. And so having adequate social skills to not only get along in class, but now you're living with 4 roommates in an apartment and getting along with roommates, getting along with the people in your organizations and the people in your employment site. So social skills are really important. We look at time management. Miss Jamie mentioned a really important piece about there is free time built into the schedule. We have lots of great activities on campus, but we do not manage your social calendar for you. We do not manage your evening and weekend calendar for you. So there are blocks of free time. Do you know how to navigate that? It's really important, students, that when you are thinking about coming to college, have you ever stayed home alone before in your own home, in your own community that you're familiar with? Because when you come to college, you have a new community and some places you aren't quite as familiar with, and your parents don't get to stay overnight in your dorm with you. So it's really important to think about that and be ready for how to manage that, not only time-wise, but just being in the dorm situation. We look at independent living skills. We don't get to see healthy relationship building necessarily in that 2-week time period, but those are things that we will be working on as students are in our program. We definitely look at navigation and safety skills. Are you able to cross a street? Are you able to navigate the bikes and skateboards and traffic whizzing around campus and what that looks like? And then once students are in the program, they are evaluated annually with our graduate students and our faculty executive committee. We look at assessments that have been designed pretty thoroughly with rubrics to determine if students are a good continued fit for the program. And by that, we mean really looking at not only are they making satisfactory academic progress, but are our students growing in their independent living skills and their employment skills and their social skills. And it varies. We expect a junior is going to look very different from a freshman in skills at the end of the year, but we expect growth to happen. So the admissions process for the fall of 2023, applications opened on our website. It is an online process. So while we have an application example on there and you can click on that, you actually need to click on the one that you fill out through Qualtrics online. Applications are due by December 1st at 11:59 p.m. There is a $30 application fee, and there is a link for at least 2 references to submit. That reference form is fairly straightforward. It is a form that people fill out that you do not need to submit additional letters of reference. You want your references who know you well to fill out that reference form. Our admissions committee is tasked with evaluating the applications anonymously using a rubric. So we de-identify all information, so no one knows the name of the applicant that they are looking at, and selected applicants will be invited to interview in the spring. We are anticipating bringing in a cohort for next fall, we anticipate having 7 to 10 new freshmen join us in the fall. Let's see. And I talked through this quickly earlier, but just to reiterate, we anticipate invitations to do the Zoom interviews to come out in mid-February. In late February to early March, the Zoom interviews will be happening. By mid-March, you'll be notified if you're invited to those final on-campus interviews, which will happen in late March, early April. In mid-April, you will be notified if you are invited to summer experience, and which will happen in early June. And the official acceptance will come by June 15th. So that is the timeline we're looking at. We do not have exact dates solidified yet. Future goals of Aggie Achieve are to increase our number of endowed scholarships, to grow in numbers of staff and students. We really want to have our students fully immersed and included in even more on-campus activities. And there are over 1,000 student organizations here. We want to connect with as many as are interesting to our students and have more inclusive on-campus and off-campus employment opportunities. We really want our program to expand post-secondary opportunities for students and families in Texas and be a leader in that area. If you are curious about more college programs, thinkcollege.net is a fantastic resource. There are lots of resources about your college search. There are family resources. There are activities to do, suggestions for preparing yourself for college. So this is a website that I strongly suggest that you and your case managers at high school connect with, or you and your families connect with. And this is just a map of all of the different places in the United States that have college opportunities for students and the number of programs that are available for students with disabilities. Each program is different and has a different focus. So it's pretty important to look at each program for what it is and see if you're a fit. And I strongly suggest going to other open houses and checking things out to determine where might be the best fit for you. Shimi, do we have Achievemates on yet or no?
Not yet, but they will be hopping on soon. I can go ahead and talk briefly about Achievemates. There are some questions in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead. I was typing, so let me just go ahead and answer them verbally. David, I responded to you. We accept up to 10 applicants each year. We don't have a target number because it's based off of interviews and if an applicant fits our program. And then Samir, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. I received your direct message. You said any chance that a cohort size may be increased. At this time, we're accepting up to 10 applicants. And then Sophia, there should be a recording posted to our YouTube after this open house. I hope that answers your questions. We will have an Achievemate come on soon to give us some information about Achievemates and what the organization is. But what Aggie Achievemates is our students receive majority of their individualized support from A&M students who volunteer as Achievemates. Achievemates are undergraduate and graduate students from across disciplines that help establish these one-on-one relationships with our students. And they have a variety of different roles. So they will have an academic mentor who assists students with academic coursework and encourage good study habits. They'll have a lunch and dinner partner who helps our students focus on social skills and healthy eating. They'll have a wellness partner that engages in a workout or safe exercise habits. They'll have daily planners who focus on organizational skills and help our students with things like self-advocacy, money management, and making sure that our students are meeting expectations of the program. And then they have journal members at large. And what this picture is, each color represents a circle. And so each of our students has what we call a circle of support that's made up of their friends and people that become their best friends in their community here in college. And I think our Achievemate representative just hopped on. She just texted me. So Larissa, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So this is Larissa. She is one of our amazing Achieve mates. And she is such a great advocate for our students and such a great friend to our students. So I'm going to turn it over to her. And thank you so much, Larissa, for being here.
Yes, of course. I'm so excited. Howdy, everyone. My name is Larissa Villarreal. I'm a business major from Wichita Falls, Texas. But more importantly, I'm a loud and proud member of the Fightin' Texas Aggie class of 2023. I'm so glad to get to hop on and talk about Achievemates for a little bit. So I'm in my senior year. I joined Achievemates my freshman year. So this program has really changed kind of what my college experience has looked like here at Texas A&M. Some of these pictures you're looking at right now are just some of the sweetest memories I have from the last 3 years, just from hanging out, playing volleyball. You can see the mummies, that's from our Halloween party last year. Our formals and semi-formals are always so fun, just a time to dress up, get to dance. Achievemates, we love a good dance party every now and again. So just super fun times together for sure. So just a little bit more. These are photos from our circle reveals. Like Jamie said, every student has a circle of support made up of different roles, kind of just depending on what that specific student needs. And then our circle reveals for Achievemates are kind of themed based off of what that student likes. So these are from last year. We just did different colors. So every student chose their favorite color, and those are their support groups. So super fun, best friends for sure. So a little bit more about Aggie Achievemates. We are just dedicated to serving our community by kind of advocacy and inclusion, acceptance, things like that. We really focus on those one-to-one relationships, and that's why Achievemates are in a circle, just to, you don't want to be spread too thin, but you're able to develop relationships with all of the students, but you really will have like your kind of one-on-one that you're a little bit closer to and you kind of know a little bit more about. So Achievemates is made up of both the Achieve students and then any undergrad and grad students who wish to be in the program. You apply and then we do interviews and we kind of select off of that. I've sat on the acceptance committee before, and we're very selective and careful with who we allow in our organization, just because it is so special, unique. It's really an honor, truly. So we try to be very careful with who we allow in our organization. So like Jamie said, the students have their circles of support. Lucky enough, I think I'm a grandma in Achievemates by now. I've made it to all of these positions. I love getting to see how our students learn and work and things like that. So I've been all of these roles for the student that I'm in their circle. I think my favorite was my year that I was a wellness partner. We would play basketball, we would go to the rec, we would go on walks. It's really fun because Texas A&M is so big and you can just do whatever you want and kind of see what you and the student want to do together. I know some people have done Zumba classes. Some people bring their dogs to campus and they take their dogs on walks together. So the opportunities are endless for sure. And then planning partner, we kind of work and see, do we use virtual calendars? Do we use paper planners? What does that look like? What are we buying for groceries this week? When are we pulling our football tickets, and kind of help each other with that. Academic mentor is so fun as well. Kind of like a study hall time together. I always try to make it fun. Let's go grab coffee, let's go grab lunch and read while we're there, or do our homework, or have you checked your syllabus? What do you have due? Kind of things like that. So that's super fun. And then lunch and dinner buddy, of course, who doesn't love to eat with their friends? So that's always fun. But in that, it's really cool to see kind of what kind of choices you're making and help each other be better. So, okay, we had a burger last week. Let's go grab like a wrap or a salad this week, or, let's go grab a smoothie and go for a walk. And then kind of being careful with money as well. let's not go out to eat every single week. Let's stay on campus sometimes, and then let's go out for a treat every now and again. So that's super fun as well. And then a member at large is really fun because you can kind of hop in any of the circles of any student and help where needed. So a lot of times, if someone's sick or something comes up, they have an exam, a member at large will step in and be an academic mentor for a day or take someone to the grocery store one day. So that's a super fun role as well. So the goals of Aggie ACHIEVE are to foster and advocate for a community of inclusion and acceptance on campus. So gosh, I can't wait for the day that we are just kind of all integrated, and that's what we're striving for, and that's what we work for every day. So that's my favorite part of this program. We are looking for changed lives in our students through our relationships that benefit both parties, not just one or the other. And then we are also here to advance and support the goals and the vision of our wonderful Achieve program through the supplemental support and advocacy. So kind of all of the common themes go together in all of our goals. So super fun. And then that is our organization's website and email. Our wonderful president, Millie, runs our email along with our secretary. And then our website is super fun. We try to keep it updated with pictures and events and things that we're working on. And then we also have a blog on there that kind of talks about some fun stuff that the circles are doing. It's kind of a place to highlight what our circles are doing and our students, our members, things like that. And then I'm not sure how updated it is, but we do like a fun things Friday in our group chat, and everyone shares like what great thing happened to them that week. And sometimes everyone's responses will get put in a blog post just to kind of share like the happy moments of that past week for everyone. But that's kind of all I have for you guys. I would love to answer any questions that you have about Achievemates. Like I said, I think I've been in it long enough. I'm a little bit seasoned, so I would love to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Larissa, and sharing. Like, your enthusiasm for the program is genuine. If you meet Larissa on campus, she is exactly the same person you're seeing on the screen, and we are very fortunate to have her. Thank you for coming in here this morning.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. It's so fun. I'm so excited.
Does anyone have questions for Larissa?
Larissa, I know somebody was asking, sorry, about if the circles change from year to year. And so I kind of answered that, but I don't know if maybe you have a better response than I do. I said that they can change every year depending on like if people graduate or like if students want to shift circles or anything like that. But we do try to keep friends like consistently, because the whole goal is for everyone to have like authentic friendship. And so circles do stay the same, but they can also change. I don't know if there's something you want to add to that or not, Larissa, but.
Yes. So, if you graduate, your circle changes. So the way it works is the Achievemates pref what student they want to be with, and then what role they want. So if a student already has all of their wellness partners, and I really wanted to be a wellness partner, then I could go to another circle, even though that's not the student that I preferenced. So some of the circles have, the same 2 people, and the other 8 people change every semester. I know for my circle personally, we had almost the exact same circle for the past 3 years. And then all of our amazing members graduated. So this year, I think I'm the only returning member, and we have all new members, which is so fun. So it kind of depends on the age of the members in your circle and like the turnover rate, if that makes sense. And then I see a question. How often do Achievemate planning partners meet with their students, and how do Achievemate volunteers get involved? So everyone meets once a week, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the activity and what the student needs from their Achievemate. So I'm a planning partner right now. Me and my student meet for 30 minutes once a week. He is extremely independent. I I think I might be more annoying sometimes, like, we have to get this in your Google Calendar right now. And he's like, I'll remember later, but I just want to keep it consistent and make sure everything's down on his phone. So we always do that. But when we would go play basketball together, when I was a wellness partner, we would hang out for an hour, just to like get the most out of our workout time together. And then how do AchieveMate volunteers get involved? So that you have to hang out with your student once a week. And then besides that, we have social and service opportunities. So we are more a social based organization. We're always hanging out. We're always with our Achieve students. We do fun Halloween parties, back to school parties. We've gone to Big Shots and done some golf with snacks, things like that. So that's a great way to get involved, but we also do service projects. So we'll do profit shares to benefit our organization. We've donated. Oh, my favorite was when we did a kind of a drive to collect things for a local business in our area, the Bee community. That was my favorite thing. We volunteered at the big event, things like that. So there's many ways to get involved, both on a social level, service level, and kind of everywhere on campus.
Thank you so much, Larissa.
Yes, I guess that's all the questions. So I'll go ahead and hop off, but thank you guys for your time. I'm looking forward to what this next year is going to look like for y'all.
Thank you. Have a great day, Larissa.
You too. Thank you.
And one last thing, Aggie Achieve does not offer tours of our program. Our staff are very hands-on with our students every single day. So it's not possible to come for several reasons to tour Aggie Achieve and spend a day with Aggie Achieve, because our students have personalized programs going on. Our staff is teaching and working hard, but also because our students are fully integrated into Texas A&M courses. The very best way to see what it's like at Texas A&M is to schedule a campus tour. And if you're curious about where you would be living as a freshman and sophomore on campus, through those links, you may also schedule a tour of the White Creek apartments and see what those look like firsthand, because that is the on-campus housing that our students live and learn in for their first 2 years. So we highly suggest, if you're wanting to see if Texas A&M feels like the right home for you, to go ahead and schedule a campus tour and a tour of White Creek apartments. Then we are open for questions now, if there are any. Also, you can always email aggieachieve.tamu.edu. And I would like to put in a plug for all of our social media accounts. Our program manager, Jamie, is absolutely amazing at keeping our social media accounts up to date. And that's the fastest way to see information. But our website is up to date, and we do monitor the email daily, Monday through Friday on that. And we are not staffed to monitor email on the weekends. So if you email late at night or on a weekend, you're going to get an answer back during business hours, Monday through Fridays.
Heather, I think there's a few questions in the chat. So someone asked where they are for buildings. So they live in White Creek apartments their first 2 years. As far as like where classes are held, that depends on the class that they're taking, where their building will be. It can change from year to year. So I'm not really sure. There won't be like an exact building that we can tell you. Someone asked to provide the White Creek apartment link again. So we can definitely put that in the chat. And then Heather, I think this might be a best question for you. David asked, what is the general cost of housing per semester at White Creek?
That I will have to, honestly, I will have to look that up. I'm believing it is the housing is probably around $4,000 to $5,000 a semester, but the White Creek housing link has that. I am so sorry. I could have put that in the presentation and I didn't think about that. And then the meal plan really depends on what what meal plan your Aggie chooses to have for the semester. I would say that overall for the cost of the year, you're looking at $10,250 per semester. So looking at $20,500 and probably an additional overall $10,000 to $12,000 for housing and food. But exact costs of White Creek are available on White Creek's website, and those housing costs change from year to year. I don't know if that's helpful or not. And I can put the links in the chat for the tours if people are interested in that. I can stop sharing the screen and do chat links.
And then I saw the question about what clubs are the Aggie Achieve students involved in on campus. And so that was our student organization slide that we had talked about, where they actually have access to every single club and organization that everyone else does on A&M campus. And so some examples are Read Rowdies, Aggie Emeralds, Whoop. They can join. Really, if there's an organization that Texas A&M offers, our students have access to it. If they want to start an org, they have the ability to do so as well. I recommend if you Google Texas A&M student organizations, every single organization Texas A&M has is on there. And so you can really look at it and see, what the opportunities are. And then as soon as they got onboarded into the program, we also help them pick out organizations that align to their interests. Okay. So do students take classes related to their specific career interest? How is this assessed when they begin? Heather, do you want to answer that one?
So we have a selected menu of classes or a catalog of classes that are available to our students based on which professors and which faculty in different areas have opted in to offer their courses to us. We work with our students to look through that course catalog and offerings and determine which classes best fit their needs. So right now we do not have access to the full Texas A&M course catalog at this point, but we look through the courses that are available with our students and create a path forward with that.
Okay.
And I do see a question about the legal guardianship requirement. So are candidates able to have partial guardianships for financial and medical decision-making and still be eligible? So our students may have supported decision-making agreements, but they may not have guardianship. There are literally hundreds of decisions that are made every day on campus. It is really important that our students are able to make decisions for themselves, but we do understand that it's important also to keep families involved, and that some families may want to support their students in making good decisions with their money or choices for medical. And so you may have supported decision-making agreements. I see a question. Do students stay for the summer? No, they do not. They are here for 8 semesters, and it's fall and summer, or fall and spring semester.
There's another question that says, what kind of supports are you planning to offer in the future for graduates of the program, assistance finding employment opportunities, alumni network?
Okay. So Kelsey, could you speak to employment, and I can speak to the other pieces?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second. Jamie, which question was that again?
Yeah, so he was asking what kind of supports are we planning to offer in the future for graduates of the program? And then I think where Heather is asking you to step in is, how do you provide assistance finding employment opportunities?
Yeah, so when we provide assistance for employment opportunities with students, particularly after you're done with the program, that's a very individualized process. I meet with the student regularly to discuss their long-term plans and what location they want to be at. And it's really driven by the student. So whatever they come to me, we match their skills and their interests, and we try to find the perfect fit for them.
And then as far as networks following following graduation, our students will be graduates of Texas A&M with their Certificate of Interdisciplinary Studies. We are working on forming the pathway with the Association of Former Students, but this really is our very first year of having graduates. So this will be the first time that we are connecting in that way with them, but we would love our students also to consider as they graduate as an act of service, coming back and creating an Aggie Achieve alumni network. But that would really be something that our students could take on as a project, but they would also have access to the greater Aggie network. Let's see, did I get all of that question?
About how many applications do you get
It really depends
each
on
year?
It really depends on the year. Last year we had about 75 applicants. But we don't know. We just started taking applications on Saturday. So we will see how many we get this year, but it's averaged between 70 and 75 per year. And I did see a question about when and how can we access this recording for our family members to watch. It takes a few hours for the recording to process, and I will say with confidence that it will be linked by Monday. I can't promise that it will be linked over the weekend. When it is linked, I will send out that information to via the same way that we sent the links out in the first place, and you will know that the link is up and ready for viewing.
I found out a little bit of information about the 529 account that someone was asking about earlier. What we recommend doing is talking to your financial advisor that works your 529 account. That we don't want to give you a wrong answer or steer you wrong. So that's what we recommend doing, is speaking to a financial advisor about that.
Let's see, and I did see a question, may we submit more than 2 letters of reference? You may submit more if you think that it is necessary to have more than 2 people who really know you to be able to show all aspects of your student's life, but the requirement is 2, and so that meets the requirements. But if you think that it would be helpful to have more than 2 letters of reference, that is absolutely okay. And those, the reference link is actually a separate link. Your students can ask people to fill those out right away if they would like to, and then those are linked with the application once the student's application is complete.
Hi, this is Julie Miller. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Okay, I'm the one who asked about the 529s. So since 529s are there for the expenses related to higher education, for Aggie Achieve, when you're paying tuition and the program expenses, those are paid directly to Texas A&M. Is that correct?
That is correct. The tuition and on-campus living and dining plans are directly to Texas A&M during freshman and sophomore year. The only thing that changes is during junior and senior year, when students move off campus, they would pay their rent to their off-campus housing.
Correct. Okay. And the program expenses related directly to Aggie Achieve, I don't remember what that number was. I think it was maybe 8,000 something. That is also paid to Texas A&M University. Is that correct?
Correct. Everything happens through Texas A&M University, whether it is financial aid, whether it is making payments to Texas A&M. The only process that's slightly different is the application. They don't fill out a Texas A&M application. They fill out an Aggie Achieve application.
Okay. I'm just confirming in my own mind that all of these expenses should be eligible through a 529 account. I saw the note to check with the financial advisor, but I have other children in the other universities of higher education, and that's typically how it works. That's why I just wanted to confirm that. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I would just check it out. That is not our area of direct expertise, so we would
right.
just check.
Okay, yes, thank you.
What standardized testing do you need for consideration for acceptance?
I think you're on mute, Heather.
I was on mute purposely to pull the website up. I'm so sorry. So they do need an achievement test, and it can be any one of the ones that are listed on the website. And I'm trying to remember from memory because I don't have the website pulled up. Could be a Woodcock-Johnson 3R. It could be the Woodcock-Johnson 4. It could be a Kaufman. They are listed very specifically on our website and on the application. So an achievement test, they also need to have the diagnosed disability from their latest re-eval. Thank you, Jamie, for popping that in the link so I can share it and they can find it.
You mentioned that it needed to be third grade equivalency. Do you need that in the IEP or something from the school grade level testing?
It could be if they had been tested like within the last few years and it's not the year to have the reevaluation, I would suggest having a statement either in the student's IEP or on the summary of performance that they're having as a senior, where it states where their present levels of academic functioning are at. So in their PLAF statement on their IEP, it should give a statement of where their current reading levels are. We do also assess that once our students are invited to on-campus interviews. And I do see in the chat, yes, you may use the WIAD or the WAIS, yes.
What if they go to private schools? Do you need an IEP or because they don't have those in place, but she gets help?
We need documentation of the help that the student is getting or an outside evaluation.
Okay. What about the test before going in, like the standardized test? You can get those before and submit it with the application?
Yes, you would submit that with your application. And an application is not considered complete until we've received an evaluation report or record of that testing. And there is a link to upload that within the application. So the application becomes complete once we have all that documentation together.
Okay. And are there, like with the private schools, they can do it themselves, or should I go somewhere to do the standardized test?
Dr. Roberts, do you happen to be on right now?
Yes, I'm on.
Could you help with that question, please?
Can you repeat the question?
For the standardized test,
Mhm.
my daughter goes to a private school. Do I get it from the private school? Can they do it, or do I go somewhere else? And I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, if the private school either should do it, or you can also, wherever your child is zoned to attend the school, that's a service that they can provide. You need to speak with them about that, because they can provide like some services to students that are in private school, like speech services and other things, and they need to get an evaluation to determine whether that's needed or not. So it's something I would talk to your school district, because it's a very expensive process to get done. And so it's either going to be, that'd be my first step, to try to get it done through them, because also that gives us what we need, because they actually evaluate for educational need whenever you can. Another option is to go to a private psychologist that does the evaluations, which is a very expensive process. And then also they don't typically necessarily look for educational need versus, just is this a disability that the person has? And that's not always give us the information that we might need. So it's better to try to go through an educational institute if you can to get that. And then the third option is through Texas Workforce Vocational Rehabilitation Services. And that's a free way to do that, but that is going to take a very long time to get done. And it would not, if you're planning to apply during this time, it wouldn't happen in time. And they usually, I would look at probably about 6 months to get a turnaround on a evaluation through Texas Workforce.
But you did mention that her private school can also do it too, right? If I can just ask them to have a standardized test for her?
You can ask them to do that. I mean, their private schools aren't under the same obligations as public schools, and so it'd be something that they would have the option to provide or not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
will ask them.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Can I ask more about this testing as well? I am not looking at the details of the application while we're listening to this call. And so I'm not sure what you're referring to in the way of standardized testing. Is that the FIE? Is that what you
Right.
said? Their
Mhm.
most current FIE? So what
Right.
if, like, my son, I know they have to redo it they update it every 3 years. And I
Right.
think that it has been almost 3 years since his last one. He's currently in the first year of an 18+ program.
Mhm.
So his might be coming up in the beginning of 2023. So with the application cycle, do they just submit the FIE even if it's 2 or 3 years old?
Right. And they don't do an FIE necessarily every 3 years. They're required to address it every 3 years. And so oftentimes, depending on the school district, depending on the needs of the student, they might do a read. So you might hear that and go just instead of a read. And that's kind of a reevaluation. So they look at the FIE and determine, is that still accurate information? And and they do provide a lot of good information. So that would work as well. If the FIE might be years old, but the read might be more up to date, and that's fine too. I mean, I would just try to get us both so that we can get an idea of the student and how we would support them.
So are you saying if the evaluation is a couple of years old and they're not up for their reeval, does that mean?
That's updated enough. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, we look at, I mean, 3 years, within 3 years is ideal. Is because that's generally when it's required. When it's required by TEA to be redone is every 3 years. And so we wouldn't expect you to have to get your school to get one really quickly now, but they should have at least a read or an FIE that's 3 years or newer,
Right.
more recent. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if your student has their most recent IEP is what you would upload, and their most recent read or FIE is what you would upload with it. If you're in the process of like the new evaluation is due in 2023, you can submit that later, but what you would submit is what's currently on hand. We are looking to make sure students have a documented disability and are meeting criteria for services.
Abby, I see that your hand is up. Did you have a question for us?
Oh, no, sorry. That was before they answered it about the FIE, the standardized testing and everything.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then is a current IEP okay for evaluation? Yes, I think that's what Dr. Dulis and Dr. Roberts were just answering. As long as their current IEP and an FIE or a read demonstrates that they are being served with special education services for a documented disability, then that would suffice.
Well, the most current IEP, as long as it includes their newest evaluation, because that they didn't have one during the IEP cycle, it might not be attached. Their FIE or their read might not be attached to the IEP. So we need to make sure it's attached to the document that's sent.
I also just put it in chat in case we're cutting out or anyone is having trouble reading or hearing. Any further questions?
I think that depends on if he can pull out this win this weekend.
Well, I mean, they made a pretty strong contract. They'd have to
Good
spend a lot of money to
resist.
get to, for him no longer to have a job here. I don't know if
Good
they're gonna
resist.
do that.
All right.
Maybe he needs some job development skills right now. I'm just kidding.
Clearly.
I can help him.
Awesome. Any questions?
If you think of questions after you leave this time frame, please just shoot us an email to aggieachieve.tamu.edu, and our team is fastest at answering emails. We do have a phone number, but I would say 110% of the time it is faster to shoot us the email, and you're going to get a quicker answer and probably more complete because then it'll be in writing for you. And we look forward to seeing applications from several of you, whether it is this year or whether you are sophomores and juniors waiting for years to come. We look forward to hopefully meeting some of you in real life and in person one day.